Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Beer Talks.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beer Talks, and thank you so much for joining us. And let's let us just open the day by opening a beer. Or what do you think, Tanya? Am I too thirsty?
Yes. Honestly, I'm waiting the whole day till 28 o'clock and I'm waiting for this beer, this beautiful Wulle. This is a
Yeah,
crazy
I'm.
beer from Stuttgart, everybody. It's delicious. It's a Helles beer. Helles beer is like tasty, it's fresh, not that strong. Let's open it, Cabello, right?
Yeah, and I think it's the first beer that we drank when we first met.
Right. It was like
Yes,
4 years ago, 5 years almost.
yeah, yeah. And it was the first beer too we have ever had together, and what a coincidence.
So let's start the new journey together with Wulle again.
Yeah,
Opening.
fully again. Yeah,
Cheers to everyone. Cheers,
and just
Cabello.
just
So I love it, honestly.
oh yeah, it tastes good. Now I remember why we had to open it with we had to open the podcast with this beer. It really tastes good.
Right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Like today, it's the introduction style. We want to introduce you our podcast, introduce ourselves, talk about what you can expect the next weeks, months, years. We don't know from us, and why it would make sense to listen to us or who we are, so you get to know us a little bit today, and furthermore, the next podcast.
Yeah, and I think the most fantastic reason why people should listen to us is because we will be introducing, like, every episode will be introducing a different kind of beer, which always tastes good. You can trust us with that, with our sense of taste.
Yeah.
You know, we have taste. We have taste when it comes to beers. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so we will just jump straight into the introductions, and you could go first, Tano, if
Me?
you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, as y'all heard, my name is Thano. I was born and grew up in Germany, in southern Germany, in Stuttgart. Currently living in Berlin, and my roots are from Greece. Like my parents are from Greece and moved to Germany. So basically, I got read as a migrant here, which I am not. I am German, a German citizen, not yet, but possibly next week. For further going, I am a non-binary pansexual person, and we will also talk about LGBTQIA plus referring stuff in the podcast, and a lot of other intersectional discrimination, racism, and yeah, I got also a lot of experience stories to tell y'all. Yeah, so far from my side, I study social work, and right now I'm working as a street worker here in the city of Berlin. So far from my side.
Yeah, quite interesting background you have there. I'm Kabelo Thano. Well, I was born in South Africa. Grew up in South Africa. I lived half of my life in South Africa. But recently I moved to Germany 2 years ago because of family reasons. In these crazy times, there are still people who tries to build families. What a time to start a
Yeah,
family!
honestly.
But yeah, but yeah. Yeah, I moved here because I had a son and I'm engaged, and that's the whole reason why I came here. And I work as a curator and a photographer, and I've done a lot of researches with various institutions. And yeah, so I'm just trying new avenues here in Germany, because I mean I've been visiting Germany since the year 2012, but it was just for quite a short period of time, and this is the actual first time where I lived here for 2 straight years. And Yeah, that's why I'm saying that I became a beer expert.
That's what would have my question. So like, so that's why you're into beer?
Yeah, so that is all about me, and I'm actually looking forward to making to creating more art in different spaces of the world. I would still love to create art in different part of the world. I'm passionate about art. I'm passionate about pictures. I'm passionate about history. I'm passionate about all thing equality, and hence I'm part of this most beautiful podcast where we'll talk about injustices and a lot of things that people face around the world. So yeah, this is a short description about me, and yeah, it feels weird when you have to introduce yourself. You know, it's like you know
Yes,
yourself, but
honestly,
you
yeah.
don't know yourself.
Yeah, and it's like, what
Yeah,
what what would be like interesting for the people to know? Like, what does make
yeah.
sense to tell them? But anyways, you guys, you're gonna get to know us more and more. Also, we will get more chilled and chill. This is our first podcast for both of us. Um, um, we are actually happy that it works with the live stream and everything.
Of
From our friends, guys, if something doesn't work, please like give us a call because like we don't know where to look at. There are many pages like open on the laptop. So yeah. So continuing with the introduction of our podcast, Cabello will tell you a bit more about it.
yeah. So you asked me how we came about the title Beer Talks. I don't know. I think we were having a beer, and that's how it came to that, because we felt as if like when two people are sitting and just having a drink, regardless, beer, wine, whiskey, all tastes are welcome.
It has to be alcoholic, as we can hear.
Yeah, it has to be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. We can make an exception. Yeah, so I think we just sat and we were talking. We were having all this what we call beer talks. When two friends are sitting and just opening about their difficulties as beings in this world, and we came up with this title, and we ran with it. We didn't want to complicate things, so a bit about beer talks. Beer talks, beer talks is an inclusive podcast where all thoughts, ideas, and perspective of all individual matters, where we discuss social injustices and the lack of diversity on how multiple identities are not represented in many communities because of racism, sexism, ableism, ageism, or any other ageism. On this podcast, we dream of belonging, a community that engages the full potential of individuals and where innovations thrive. An utopian world where we perform, sorry, an utopian world where perfection is drawn while we share a cold beer. All of this inclusion and sense of belonging are covered under the umbrella of Beer Talks, a figure of speech that states amongst the circle of truth tellers there is a drunk person present. And so we redefine a way that there is comfort in sharing a bottle of beer with a community to share the same ideas, space, and ideologies. Equality and diversity is an essential part of the world, and the more we talk about an inclusive, diverse, and equal world, the sooner we will reach an utopian world where we talk and dream about. So that is a bit of a background of our podcast. Yeah, I think a lot of people expected that we will talk about the ingredients that are used to make to make beer, but spoiler alert,
It is not.
maybe we might. Maybe we might. We don't know as yet. We don't know as yet, but yeah, we would talk about a lot about the injustices that we face, and just picture having a news reporter who has a beer or their
Actually,
hands.
that's a great picture. Yes, yes, we are like the most coolest news reporters ever. We
What was
are
yeah,
drinking a shitload of alcohol and talking about
yeah,
the cruel, cruel world, but making it
yeah,
like funny.
yeah,
Kind of,
yeah,
kind of. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's actually like also
yeah,
like
yeah.
raging about the stuff which is going on here. I don't know. Also like I read today yesterday from a German TV um channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, guys, it's called VDR. What? They had like a panel talk yesterday, and
Uh-huh.
they literally they were talking about racism and the N word, the Z word, and um, if we should be allowed to say these words or not, and why we shouldn't, blah blah blah. And can you imagine? All of those people in this talk. Come on, guess, 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 guess the race. What do you think?
I don't have to. Yeah, it's out there.
Like so cute white supremacists, like whiteies, and they were talking about stuff which they never had any confrontation with, and
Check up. Hmm.
yeah, honestly, I was like again shocked, and this happens every day.
Yeah,
So we're gonna
yeah.
also like trying to take the news with us and show you possibly some theories about it, talk about some specific keywords which are referring to the topic, like racism with white supremacy, white fragility, and so on.
Mhm.
And we are trying to educate you a little bit. Also, like every source we're gonna use, we will state it then afterwards after the video is uploaded in the details of the video, so everyone can also go online and read the
Yeah.
stuff by themselves. And yeah, and then also like our humble opinion about all the topics we will be talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call them humble, but humble opinions. Yeah, I mean, on the topic that you spoke about, that mentioned the N word, if we should say it or if we should not say it. I was also I'm browsing through the internet, and I saw an argument that if the N word is stated on a song, it's okay to be said, to be said, and it was also the privileged community, discussing such issues, that in a song, if it's stated in a song, it's okay to say it, and in this position, that's where we draw like a question mark to us, that how also far and damaging our art is,
Yes.
and how it should be represented. I mean, at the same time, we can't force, or we can't fully put the blame on artists, for how they reflect their creativity. It's just, I think, in in a level of maturity, one needs to understand the level of privilege, and the level of how do I say, I mean, in German we would say Grenz, like the border. Yes, the border. Yeah, they need to know this borderline.
Yes.
They need to know the line on of not to cross it.
Yeah, exactly,
It's
exactly, exactly.
it,
Also, like
yeah,
to realize that your actions also are affecting certain people. That your actions are
yeah,
taking affection with them, and also like speaking of blaming, like who we are to blame. Like who could we blame? Is it the system?
yeah,
Because like basically the system is reproducing everything, and also like the artists, yes, they can like try to sensibilize themselves and I don't know, think about in which society you'd like to live in. Think about what you are reproducing using this word, either you're black or not. Like, because as you said, other people who are not black are listening to this sound. And it's not, like, it's quite common that people are actually learning your lyrics by heart and singing it with you. it's yeah,
Yeah,
it's fucked up, honestly. Also, like,
yeah.
I saw today a post about that Jewish people are also actually privileged by the society because they can hide their identity that they're Jewish, so they basically are read as whites. So basically, they have white privilege, and people believe in this. Like, no, bro, you have to hide your identity. Where the fuck is the privilege? Like,
Exactly. I mean, if you can't be, if you cannot fully represent or fully identify yourself, there's no privilege.
exactly, because white
Yeah,
privilege, this privilege is about, like, you can be whoever you are and have all the privilege, all the rights a person can have on this planet, and this person is the only one is the white cis hetero man. That's it. So basically,
yeah,
that's the main stuff, guys. Like, the
the world standard.
yes, this is standard person who has the most rights on this planet is a white cis, and cis is actually the asserted gender at birth, and this person also identifies with this gender. So the person got born and got asserted male. They grew up and they're like, yes, I am male, I am a man, and I am heterosexual. I like women. And cis, this is called cis.
Hmm.
And yeah, those people have all the rights, all the others don't. Which is kind of fucked up, right? Because how many men are, like, white cis hetero men are on this planet? I don't think that they are the majority. Yeah?
Yeah, no, I also um, don't think so. But I mean, it's one of these power structures that came with the development and the preparation of the world. One would like really say that this was planned for generation through generation. We talk about generational wealth, and that doesn't only contain money. It also contains privileges. It also contains accessibility. It also contains identity. So when we talk about generational wealth, you find a lot of black folks saying that I will work so hard, I, and acquire so much money, and my kids will never have to suffer anymore. It's great. It's a great perspective. Everyone should do that. Everyone should do that. If you want to acquire money, so you have generational wealth, it's great. But then in this notion or in this box, you need to also take into consideration that there is, with all the money that you have as a black person, you cannot buy privilege. You can buy all the expensive stuff, but privilege is not one thing that you can buy. You can go to a best school, like best
Yes.
private school. You will go there, but because of the tone of your skin color, you cannot buy the privilege of being in that school. You pay to be that school, but you cannot access
Yes.
or get the privilege in return. So it is a question that we need to ask ourselves as to how far are we willing to go to set a line of this white power system, this notion of white is right, and this notion of the world, how it's designed, it's perfect, because it's not perfect. The world is not perfect. I mean, in many people's eyes, they have the privilege to see the perfection. And for many of us, we cannot see the perfection, because
There is no.
yeah, we cannot our we cannot fully identify ourselves. We cannot fully choose to be able to identify ourselves freely. You identify yourself, you get criticism. You identify yourself, you you're disrupting this wheel, this great wheel that keeps spinning. You are disrupting it. So is this notion where we have to question a lot of things. I mean, we have to question a lot of things in this world. We have to question, like we said, racism, sexism, ableism. Like these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. If we talk
Exactly.
about, yeah, if we talk about perfect world, we talk about where everyone doesn't have to, yeah,
What? Yeah, exactly. What is the perfect world? What is the utopia everyone is searching? Actually, it's quite individual. So for everyone is other thing, the perfect
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But also like speaking of all the isms and stuff, I think also it's like first of all, everyone has to look inside themselves. Where I got like bias like got them teached while I was growing up. Where am I thinking racist? And Also like this is not that easy for people because then you have to actually tell yourself, okay, there I'm wrong, and there with this actions I'm actually hurting people.
Hmm.
Um, and this is a difficult thing to do, but also it's the most important thing to do. Like start with yourself and educate yourself. And so with the education, this is why it's so important to have names and concepts for all those injustices taking part here around us. Because like Kabelo, think like 10, 15 years back, there weren't that much concepts and like words and names. It wasn't a thing. Ageism wasn't a thing. Like actually,
Yeah,
like I don't know, 30 years ago, like children didn't even have rights until the United Nations said like internationally, possibly we should tell everyone that kids have rights. Then 10 years later, actually disabled people should also have rights. I'm not sure, but let's put it also out there in the world. And yeah, actually, there's just a question in my mind, which I always think about. Why the fuck do we as human beings do always need a concept? Like because think about it. Without the name of the injustice, it's quite impossible either to talk about, to think about, and to dismantle it in the end. So yeah, that's why the educational part of it is so important.
yeah,
And yes, guys, yes, it is exhausting from time to time, but that's also why we are here. We can tell you in short stuff the most important things about some topics. Um, uh, and yeah, it's actually it's kind of funny because talking of it's hard for people um, uh, to be fine with it that they made
hmm,
mistakes and stuff. This is also referring to the white fragility topic. And another thing,
yeah,
that's why people are so fragile, and again, they are like putting them on themselves. I didn't mean it like this, blah blah blah. This is not what I meant, bitch. It's never about what you mean. It's about like you say something, but it's never about what you said. It's about what arrives at the other person. And if it arrives and it hurts, then I don't know. Stop it.
yeah.
Possibly, but think about it at least.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it also has to go with the fact that if over billions of people are saying this is wrong, then this is wrong. There's no way in a world where millions of people will say this actually hurting our feelings while they are lying.
Yeah.
Like it's highly impossible. I think what you said that education needs to play a very huge and important role into making it accessible, to young people to learn about identities at an early age, because it will minimize a lot of things. It will minimize a lot of the living and hiding,
Yes.
the difficulties of freely and openly discussing what's hurting your feelings, because if for instance I'm just gonna narrow it down into a South African well-doing school, where majority are Afrikaners, white South Africans, because like technically they have the general wealth of the economy, so their schools are of a better standard. I mean, we have a rainbow nation, yes, of course. It's a very beautiful rainbow nation that we talk about. But you know like within this rainbow nation, there's there are many colors that are missing, and these colors are equality, and
There is a lot, yeah.
yeah, quality is just a single word, but it has a lot of colors into it.
Yes.
In a sense that, of course, when you are a black South African, you have a good job, you are able to take your kid into these well-doing schools, but the question is, it plays like a really heavy mental or psychological war with you, because every day you are facing passive racism. I don't know if that is a word, but I will make it a word. I will make it a term. When you face a passive racism, and by passive racism, I'm gonna take ownership of it if it doesn't exist. But if it does
I'll write it down.
exist, please, yeah, if it does exist, please, the person who coined it, I apologize. Next time, I will take fully a responsibility to credit you. But for now, I will take responsibility to it. Like passive racism, in a sense that you just your presence in the school. You feel the tension of the teachers, of who many of them are white teachers, and many of them are and many of the learners are white students, so you feel this passive racism daily,
Yeah, that you're not enough,
because
right? That you
yeah
have to prove
that
yourself more than the
yeah
others.
you constantly have to prove yourself amongst the others, because I was telling, I had a discussion not so long ago a social, on a network platform, and we were talking about racism, and I told them that racism isn't only vocal. Sometimes the atmosphere around this racist environment, just the atmosphere, the tension becomes heavy for you to carry before you could receive words. There's
Yeah.
already a tension that you carry, and I think it is in all any other communities that faces discrimination. They get this atmosphere around them, this tension, this heaviness,
Yes, yes,
and
you don't belong there. Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. It's the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
It's exactly the same for migrant people here in Germany. We all grew
Oh
up like
yes,
this here. We all like this. We had to prove more than others. More. Just prove yourself. You're not worth. And even if you proved yourself, it was possibly just luck. Like you can't be that smart because you're my migrant. You are not German, and you
yeah,
got there, and then they're surprised that you can speak the language. They're surprised that you actually can do maths. Like what the fuck? And yeah, it's actually like yes, this and you don't belong. You don't belong. You never belong. You're
yeah,
always second class person in this country.
yeah,
And yes, this is what people don't understand. And it's actually you describe it quite well. Like I'm like shook because honestly it's difficult to describe this feeling. It's as
yeah,
you say, you can't grasp it if you
yeah,
don't experience it yourself.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, but this kind of sums it up. It's exhausting. It's
yeah,
exhausting, and then
yeah,
you get also this identity crisis. Am I not enough? When I will be enough? Where will this journey take me? Why the fuck am I taking this journey? And why also do I have this urge in myself to prove myself to them?
yeah,
Because they will never
yeah,
see my worth. It doesn't matter what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna be doing, because you will always be the other one, this
yeah,
othering.
yeah,
Again, another keyword, guys. And yeah, yeah, and it's so much playing along in this racist system, in this white racist colonialism stuff.
oh yeah,
And it's so complex, which makes it even more difficult to dismantle it and to
mm,
decolonize it in the end. If we
yeah,
will ever
yeah.
manage it, like no, we will manage it someday.
Yeah, let's
I
all
hope
have
to.
beer talks and we will manage it. Yeah, I mean, it's, you talk about decolonizing, and I also believe that decolonizing start, it it is a work of the mind. When you talk about decolonizing, we first have to decolonize our mind. It's a state of the mind.
Yes,
you
yes,
know if we cannot fully and truly emancipate our mind, and free our mindset of the colonial teachings, it becomes really difficult to jump over to a decolonized state of mind. you know um for instance, uh, the educational system is based in a state that it caters for colonialism, and it specifically focuses on colonial teachings, because yes, of course, it states that like colonialism was wrong, but it brought education, and if if we don't and like within this thin line, if you do not fully decolonize your mind, it's very difficult, like you said, to jump over to a state of becoming decolonized fully, because you focus now on doing mathematics, for instance, good. Like you focus on mathematics so good. You focus on learning English or any other foreign language. Now I'm narrowing it down back to South Africa. You one fully focus on being fully learning English to communicate. And by doing so, we neglect all other 10 South African languages that already exist.
yes, exactly, yeah.
You go into communities and you find people speaking over 7 South African languages, but they can't speak English and they can't speak Afrikaans, and automatically we sum up that they are not intelligent enough. This person speaks seven
Exactly.
languages.
Exactly. That's the point. Like, also there's just a second language, a second language. Like, a person grew up in one language, they learned a
Yeah,
second language, and they are broke in this language, and people are laughing at them. Like, I
yeah,
don't know, it's their second language or their fifth, seventh. I don't know. Like, they actually manage more than you if you just speak one language.
yeah,
So yeah, exactly, and this
yeah,
is like we are assuming how intelligent a person is. This is like the psychology of a human being over functionality, you know. And if they can function right in the code of talking, you automatically assume that they are kind of dumb, or I don't know, not cognitively high enough. But
yeah.
yeah, this is actually kind of bullshit. And shit, I just had a thought in my mind, but I forgot actually. The beer is
It,
kicking. No, just joking. It's just half a beer. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
It is what happens when you have a beer and having
Ah,
discussions.
come on. I grew up here. Like, this is my bloodline, my second one. But actually, to be
Yeah.
honest, I started drinking beer when I was 18. Before, I didn't like it. Honestly, I lost so many years of drinking beer. I
Mm.
have I have to cover this up, so that's why I'm drinking right now every day. It's important for my German citizenship to reach this. Because next week they're gonna ask me, are
I'm
you
taking
drinking beer
notes.
regularly? I will be yes. They will be okay, good boy. You're gonna be German. Um, but yeah, you were talking about those languages, which is also no. Actually, I lost it right now. I just lost it.
Yeah. Now we were talking about how far we go with a colonized
Ah,
mind.
yes, yes. I wanted to
Yes.
say because, like as you said, it's first of all the responsibility of each and one of us. Like you don't even have to start thinking about racism, which bias are inside you, but start thinking about in which kind of society you would like to live in. You know, like ask yourself, do I want for me to be a good person? Ask yourself, do I want to live in a society where everyone is respected, where everyone has the same rights as I do, Everyone is friendly, and no one has to be afraid to be who they are, to
yeah,
identify as who they are, and to express it, to take it outside and live fully their life. If you are answering all of this like, yes, I want to be a good person, yes, I want to live in a great society where no one is kind of excluded or discriminated or like experiencing racism. Yeah, if you are saying yes, 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 yeah, then possibly then look inside you, and then it's about to start educate yourself. Read
yeah,
books about the history of colonization. Then also you will understand why you never ever should use the N word, and so on and so on. And then you will understand how the system got built up and how complex now the racism is systematically inside of it. So that's
yeah,
also because if it's inside there, and speaking of system, we mean all the system, like states, the executive, judicative, and all the states parties, and but also like the educational system which is part of this system. So think about like also like, yeah, nah, I don't know, in Germany we're actually learning so much about the world now. Honestly, you are just learning books white supremacist wrote. Like also like I heard a discussion, over a discussion in on Instagram. There were
hmm,
people saying that there is also racism against whites, that people are still thinking about this. Like honestly, after a year of a shitload of discussion referring also BLM, you shouldn't get it now. But anyways, um, they were actually talking about it, and then someone cited Duden. Duden is Duden. It's this German lexicon. What is the English word for lexicon? Encyclopedia.
no, okay,
Like with
yeah, no,
words and definition of words. And he said like, no,
hmm,
but Duden says this and this and this. And just my only question was, and who wrote this? Because I don't think there was a black person involved in this and all of this, or a
yeah,
BIPOC person, just like a people of
yeah,
color not involved in anything of this, and we are learning only white stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
That's why it's
No,
like it's important to educate yourself, but also like it's so easy in the 21st century. We have the internet, so you can actually just like
yeah.
Google anything you like to Google and find out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, as much as I have so much to discuss and say in regarding the N word, I don't think it is fair for us to as black people to waste time and trying to explain why the N word shouldn't be used, because a lot has been said. There
Yes.
have been lectures. You can find lectures on
Yes.
YouTube. You can find
Yes.
articles. You can find published papers, books. There's so much that a person could grasp into and understand why not to a person shouldn't use this word. So I honestly would I won't go as far in I mean, there's a lot that I could say, but I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, honestly, but also
A lot
because
has been
your
said.
position
Yeah,
is not to educate people. Your
yeah,
position is not to just like explain to them why they shouldn't be using. No, they have like the brain themselves. They can like
yeah,
Google up stuff and, as you say, educate
yeah,
themselves. Yes, exactly, exactly. This is
yeah,
not at all your
yeah,
position, and that's why also like all other people who are not experiencing racism and any other kind of discrimination, and they're asking those people who are experiencing, yeah, yeah, just tell me. No, I don't want
yeah,
to. Yeah,
yeah,
why? Why don't you want to?
yeah,
Then why should I study it?
yeah,
Huh? Coming back to,
yeah.
do you
No,
want to live in a better society or not? Then like just do it. It's the
yeah.
same thing, which always grinds my gears. It's always just like, Jesus Christ. When people are talking about racism or just like homophobia and stuff, and
Hmm.
I'm getting into this discussion, and then kind of yes, after time, and if they just keep on talking bullshit about this kind of stories, like topics, I am getting emotional. I am sorry. I know I should stop this, but I don't know. It happens. And the best phrase coming back is like, "Why are you getting emotional?" This is always why we can talk with you people, with you guys, because you're always getting emotional. And I'm like,
What do you mean, you people? But
yeah, and also like
okay.
try to grow up with this,
Yes,
to grow up with discrimination and not get
because
emotional about it.
yeah, yeah,
Jesus
yeah. No,
Christ.
I mean, it is. I don't think a person could be fully educated, lack of a better word, to not get emotionally frustrated when you get into, especially if you are dealing with people who are
Yeah.
denying,
Yeah, not even
you know.
trying to, not even trying to
Yeah,
understand. Exactly,
but yeah,
exactly.
not even trying to understand. It's very
Yeah.
impossible for a person not to be over the edge with their emotions. But yeah, you said something about said something about like people educating themselves. I remember, I think it was 2014, if I don't mix the years, because I mix my years like I mix alcohol.
Classic. I'm with you, sis. I'm with you.
But I think, yeah, I think it was 2014. I was traveling from Lithuania. I think I hope I pronounce it right. I was traveling from Lithuania to Bayreuth with a bus, and I had to change in Berlin. And when when we were like in the middle of Poland, like right in the heart of Poland, our bus got stopped, right? Or the bus stopped because everyone had to go outside and walk a bit and buy a
Hmm.
drink, which is great. But there was a random search. There was like a random search, and no, that was not in Poland. We've already crossed the German border. Sorry, we were already into Germany. So we had a random search, right? And so this police officer got into the bus, past everyone like they didn't exist, because they have their passport, which is the skin color. So,
Yeah, classic.
they had their, yeah, they had their passport. And I mean, everyone could be from anywhere in the world. They could be like Americans, Canadians,
Thank you.
everyone
Thank you. It can be so
could be,
simple, right?
yeah, could be from anywhere in the world, like anywhere in the world. Okay, so the two police officers, they passed everyone to the bus and came to my seat. And next to me, there was a guy from Thailand who was sitting next to me. And it's a bad combination. You don't want to do that in a bus. You don't want to. You don't want to do that in a bus. You don't even want to start small talks. Don't start small talks. But we started to have small talks, because if I'm gonna sit next to you for over 20 hours,
Yeah,
hell, I'm gonna talk
at
to
some point we have to
you.
talk.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk. So I think we spoke for hours, but our bus got stopped. And I think our conversation was irritating the bus driver. I don't know, but yeah, so that's why he called for backup. But our bus got stopped, and the police officers came into the bus, passed everyone, came straight to our seat, and
Oh no. The stream broke. We lost connection. Kabelo?
Hey, can you hear me well?
Yes, you hear me?
Yes, I hear you well. Is my audio well? Um,
Yes.
and my visual?
Wait, now I have to change it. We're still streaming, so okay. Wait.
Yeah,
Okay, guys. So now you're gonna see the magic.
yeah.
Okay,
Um,
wait. Let me take your screen a bit bigger here.
yeah. Yeah, I really have no idea, but I've learned since I started to live in Germany that Germany's wife,
Germany's
um,
infrastructure is just bullshit. Yeah.
yeah, the internet is not, it's not that well, when it comes to to the internet. Then,
Unfortunately, it's not.
yeah,
Uh, okay. Yeah. I was
yeah,
just also reading. Let me check here. Are we now again live?
yeah. But now I'm using my. I don't know if it's back or not. I don't know if the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are still live back on. And
Okay.
also, guys, I just read if you can ask questions. Actually, I could like try to be on YouTube with my phone, but the thing is, as soon as I'm on the stream, I. Oh wait. Okay, no, it's easy. Because I was thinking then I would be listening to us all the time, double time. But actually, I didn't think about it. I can just like switch off the volume of my phone. Well,
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 well. Yeah, no,
well.
I'm sorry about that. Something went wrong with my connection. My Wi-Fi just started blinking, and I lost signal. So now I'm using my LTE, but it's okay. So it will catch up. So as I was saying, I'll just continue with the story where we left off.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got into a the police officers got into the bus, and they passed everyone and came directly to our seat, and they asked for our documentation. And I started a little bit of a riot. I was not loud. I was calm. I was collected. I asked why do they want to have my personal house files,
Yeah.
because they didn't ask for anyone, and
You were the only
they
one. How many people were on the bus?
the bus was full because I had to share a seat with some. I had to share a
Otherwise, I
seat
would
with
never
some.
share a seat with anyone. Sorry, boss.
Yeah, yeah. And otherwise, no, I would just be on myself. I wouldn't want to share a seat with. Yeah, but so we sat. I started a bit of a riot. I asked why do they want my documentation. They said, no, it's standard procedure because a lot of people travel without undocumented papers, and that's where they caught my attention at first. Like, okay, first undocumented papers, and the second was that there's a lot of drug trafficking happening, and that also raved me up. Like, okay, so does that mean that my skin color is associated with undocumented papers and
And drug trafficking, yes.
drug trafficking? And but I couldn't even get into the middle of my conversation, and there were two students who were sitting behind me, and they told the police officer that it's not fair that they want to see their personal. It's not fair that they want to see our personal documentation. Why do they not ask for everyone's
Exactly.
personal documentation? They said the only fair thing is if they start to ask for everyone's personal documentation from the front of the bus right
Exactly.
to the back. And they had a discussion. My German was not present at that moment. It's present now. I wish this would be now. My German was not present then, so I didn't quite get the discussion, but it went for like a good 7 to 8 minutes. Like back forth, back forth, and now the whole, well, not the whole of the bus, but half of the bus, they were also interacting. like very active. Like, yeah, yeah, no, it's only fair if you
Cool.
search the bus, if you ask the documentation of everyone from the front of the bus right up until to the back. And I think this also started to calculate like that would take time, blah blah blah, all this thing, and they just stormed out and left the bus, and I hope that I say this story because I hope that the two young ladies who were present and started this revolt, they would reach out, because I mean, of course, we talked then, we talked, and we exchanged thoughts, we exchanged a lot of conversations, and but we never exchanged like communication of how we will take this thing further. But I'm saying this story quite often because I hope that they will come forward,
Yes.
because for me it is very important when young people are active, in questioning the system, because just because it is written in the system, it doesn't mean it's right.
Exactly. Exactly.
They
Exactly. That's the point.
yeah, yeah, they didn't have to bother themselves. It was at night. They could just continue to sleep, but they
They saw an
jumped
injustice
into.
and took action
Yeah,
because they knew
yeah,
like this is not right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. They knew that this is not right, and and this is the kind of also the like the collective work of society that is really needed, to to go forward,
Exactly. Exactly. To
into
speak,
yeah,
to stand
yeah.
up and speak up against intolerance, against injustices. Yes, exactly. And also, like, it's most important thing for the young generation. We are the future of the whole society of this planet. And speaking of future, like also the same with Fridays for Future.
Hmm.
Exactly, exactly. And it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear this change of story. In the beginning, I was like, okay, 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 I'm listening, listening. When he's finished, I'm gonna rage. And then you turn around, I was like, oh, that's actually kind of nice.
And
It's cool, cool to
it's
hear.
actually
There's like
it,
faith in humanity restored. I like.
yeah, it's actually the same response that I get when I tell the story, because yeah, of course, we live in a world where social injustice lives. It's present, it's there, it's visible. We can see it, we can feel it, we can taste it, and we hate it. you know, that's just plain fact. We
Yes.
hate it. And but when there's this collective communities, collective work, collective togetherness, the state of being one, the state of a decolonized mind, that's when these stories also play an important role, into what we discuss, because it's bad, it's plain bad outside there. There's a jungle of injustices
Yes.
happening there. It's like going on. It's like when you tell people that you are from Africa, and the first question, like, oh, so you battle with lions? Yes, not actual lions, but the lions that I battle are racist. Those are the lions that I battled when I go outside. But when you tell these stories, you tell stories about the young courageous people who stood and definitely still stand against what is supposedly right,
Yeah.
and for me it's very important also to share stories that contain hope, stories that contains um yeah, we can say a better world, but
Some
yeah,
change.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, of change. I possibly, I mean, possibly those young girls could have got into serious problem. I don't know the kind of barrier gives between a police officer and a citizen. I don't know this kind of law, but they just could have been in trouble for objecting the officer of law to do his work.
Yeah, I mean, like, speaking of police, also, like, I can speak of police here in Germany, in general. Speaking of the behavior of the police against foreign people, or um, uh, red foreign people, it's actually mostly not the best. I don't want to say that everyone is bad, but um, um, like, this is my opinion to everyone who wants to shit post afterwards. Um, uh, the phrase ACAB, it's not that each individual is a B, but it's about that if you are working in this system, which that you can't look away anymore. It is a fact that the system is full of racists and full of people who are misusing their power, and if you're working in this environment and you don't open your mouth because you're afraid to lose your job, yes, sure, but then show courage, because, like, I don't know, they have way too much power, and that's why ACAB counts, because they don't open up, they don't stand up against it, they don't do anything
Mm,
against it. As soon as you stand up,
yeah,
you get fired. Yeah, well, I don't know, then everyone who's good should stand up, so everyone gets fired, and then, I don't know, the system breaks down and we can build it up again. But no, so everyone is way too afraid. Out of what? Afraid of what? You are white, just do it. And Jesus Christ. But yeah, also, like, speaking of stories which give someone hope, actually, I was just thinking about um uh, police stories which happened to me, like injustice. I don't have, like, now, just like, spontaneously, I can't remember of any story which would give hope to people. um yeah, because, like, also, like, I'm in the middle, I'm kind of a foreigner, but also, like, a German, like, white guy. And yeah, it's like, I don't know, I just, I always had people standing next to me and just watching, but none of them actually interfered. And I was just the one who was discussing. And I love to discuss, especially with police officers. Like, nah, I know my rights. I can talk your language. Let's talk. I meant to talk. And you will
next
see I'm
time,
smarter than you. But the
next
problem
time
is,
in
then you will fuck me up in the end because you have the power, not me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Next time invite them for a beer.
Do you want to
And we
do something
can,
so German? Let's have a beer together.
yeah, no, yeah, so I don't know. I think talking about hope and stories that give hope, I think it's safe to say that this was one episode where we were um, diving into the oceans and into the
Exactly.
ocean and trying to swim in an hour, like during this hour, just to swim around the ocean and catch as many fishes as we can.
Yeah,
And
many,
but
many more. Many, many more.
there are many more to catch, and there will be many more to come. So, and the next podcast podcasters that will follow, they will be more detailed, more
Structured,
researched,
exactly.
more structured, more statistic.
Yes.
Today, we just wanted to engage and introduce ourselves and give out our thoughts. So it will be very great if we, get um, comments, if we get love letters as to how we could do it better, or how do they see the structure of this podcast, what we could do better going forward, because this is a community where we talk about inclusive inclusion, togetherness. This is a community where I would like to call it a free space to talk and discuss and uh, uh, just get rid of this baggage
Exactly. This boxes
of
also like
passive,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, of
yeah.
passive injustices. Yeah, I will just pose a question to you, Tano. How what I mean, it's too early to say and too early to ask, but what is your vision, to lack of a better word? What is your vision? Like, what do you would love to see, this the direction that this podcast
Um,
taking?
Actually, I'm a person who tries to never build up expectations at all. The main thing is for me to start this journey, which we did today, and also like guys, we want to continue this journey with you in exchange with you. So like keep on commenting, send us DMs on Insta, slide in my DMs, and like yeah, just continue this and for me, it's first of all talk about it, in my opinion, really really important topics, and to exchange thoughts, but also learn out of this. You know, out of this exchange of thoughts, I want to learn to grow with it, and but also like possibly to change some patterns of thinking on viewers and watchers and people who are listening to us. It's like it's important for me as you said, this inclusion, everyone is welcome to discuss with us. Also, if you are a Nazi, like feel free to talk to us. If you are willing to discuss, we are willing to listen to you and exchange our thoughts. Like I just want to um yeah to show a range of people and to have also the feeling for me that I'm doing something against all of these injustices. You know, right now it's just sitting around and I don't know, posting and resharing some posts or donating to NGOs and NPOs is fine. It's not enough, and yeah, it's. I'm happy that we're gonna continue this. Also, guys, for you, like every second week we will go live, and all this stuff is also gonna be cut and in audio and will be published on podcast pages. This is gonna happen the next days, weeks, and yeah. So far from my side, I don't know. It's just like yeah. Today we dived into it a lot, and from the next episodes it's like a little bit more structure. We will start with one huge topic and then it's gonna be this one evening about this one topic and continuing this. So also the next time we can like see if we can kind of see your questions in the comments and stuff, which would be nice, so we can interact with you while we are live. So you can also ask us questions if you have like referring to our persons or stuff. Yeah, yeah, Cabello.
Yeah.
You? What do you think? We done today? Do you have anything to say? What do you want to say?
No, yeah, I think we could close soon, but I would really love to say that, I believe that the best education a person could have is listening to other people's experiences.
Yes.
Because if we focus only on books, books are important. Don't get me wrong. I used to read a lot, but now I'm just tiptoeing around my reading schedule. I'm just, I'm reading, I'm trying to read children books because I'm learning a language. And when you learn a language, you have to start with children books because you can never go wrong with grammar,
Yeah.
simple, articulate. So I'm trying to read children books and avoiding a lot of my books. But back to my to my ending statement is that the best education comes with listening to other people's experiences, and the more you listen, the more you become um, well informed,
Yes.
because I believe that some of the experiences, you know all of the experiences is the right word. All of the experiences that are shared, there are thousands and thousands and millions of people going through the same thing. So my ideal vision is to build a community where people feel free to have a beer and chat with us and tell us what is the most fucked up thing that they experienced, because practically we talk with family, but also, sometimes you just need to confide to strangers, to people that you've never met. Very it is very good when you hear thoughts of strangers, thoughts from strangers that relate to your reality, because we live in a world that is full of similarities,
Mm-hmm.
but we are apart. I'm sitting here today. I believe that there's someone who has the same similarities as I am, who sits in the USA, who sits in Canada, who sits in the UK, who sits in South Africa, who sits in Greece. They have the same experience, so it would be great if we have this connection of
Exactly.
thoughts,
Exactly. And
this
build up
connection,
this community together. Yeah.
yeah, and build this community together and just, yeah, and just drink.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because,
Also,
yeah,
speaking of, about the experiences of people, a thought popped immediately in my mind that, yeah, it makes sense to not just like focus on the books, on the theories, because like human beings are not rational. We are
yeah,
beings full of emotions, and experiences are expression of the emotions, and which makes, I think, a person better to understand the next one. And also, like, yes, if other people are listening to strangers with the same experiences, you get validated, you don't feel alone anymore. And as you say, yes, 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 that's really nice thoughts and true
yeah,
thoughts. And yeah, also, guys, we are quite flexible, spontaneous, and creative people. So this journey, as we said, we will take this all together. And if you have any ideas, we can also like collect stories of you, read them out loud here, and then talk about
yeah,
those stories. There are a lot of things we can actually do.
yeah,
There will be also some guests further
yeah,
in the podcast,
hmm,
and we're looking forward to all of you and to your thoughts about today and about this journey you are hopefully gonna take with us. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So we're
yeah.
done, I
This,
think.
yeah, this was great. This was great, and yeah, I believe that we, um, I don't know, but I always use this metaphor that we are holding on to a bull that has two sharp horns, and regardless of how much our hand bleeds, we keep on holding on to it because um, we don't want the future generation to be sitting on the same seat. So yeah, let's hope that we would learn something from this.
I'm quite sure we will,
Yeah,
and if not, we
yeah.
will have much fun with different sorts of beer. So today
Of
today
course.
first, the last thing we have to finish this with: how was your beer? How was the taste?
Should I sound formal, like
Please,
a
please, please,
formal?
like keep it super posh. Keep it super posh, please. With your glasses,
Oh my God, these hobs were perfectly picked by beautiful hands, and the beer was well crafted, and the taste was so magnificent. I could feel the fairies on my tongue.
Wow.
Wow.
And this is Wulle, and for all the German speaking people out there, Wulle mush Wulle. Cheers to that.
Cheers. Much love.
Good night, people. Good night.
Good night. tell us what we could do better.
Ah,
We will try not to get drunk during the conversations.
okay, we will not try to get drunk. He's lying. Like I don't know. Speaking, just speak for you, Cabello. Speak for you. I'm still not sure what I want to get here live on the internet. Actually, I don't know. Also, our bosses could watch. I never get drunk. This is alcohol free. But okay,
This is
okay,
just what.
okay.
This is just water.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna play the outro now, and we are out. Good night.
Okay.